I was going to say, it's the Scunge Princess show, but then I realised I can't be heard if I'm not on the screen. Hi there, and hi everybody watching at home or at work. Slacking. What's going on with that? What are you drinking?
It is ginger beer.
It is.
I
think I just took a fly.
It might be stupid for me to be trying to drink it, but we'll see how things go.
Rightio. No harm in seeing how things go.
Well, there could be, but you know.
S first cab today. Well done. Knocked James off. 3 in a row for James. Back to square one, James, or heart one, I should say. So well done, S. Big bucket of kudos in the post to you, my friend. And hello, James Okulak as well. Pardon me. That was early for the first one. Paddy, Shaddy's Paddies. How are you, Paddy? Chris John, g'day, mate. Joel G, hello there. Nola, sheltering. Nola's sheltering between colons. Pipex, how's it going? New local Austin, kudos to you as well. Blakos, how's it going? Who else have we got lurking around back here? GRB, g'day, mate. T-Bones, how's it? Mickham, hello there. Yeah, thanks, Blake. It's this blurry background apparently enhances my crispy face. It's magical. I think we did the experiment last week where I turned the blurry background off and then my face didn't look as crisp. But I'm not sure if it's an optical delusion or if it actually happens. So Doug's, hey, mate.
It's an illusion.
What's that?
I think it's an optical illusion.
An optical delusion, I believe, is the right term.
I know. You said this could be a mistake.
No.
You said I should try it, and so I was looking for where it was to try it. But it warned me that it might be that the better your computer is, the better it will work. And my computer's not probably very good.
Did it struggle straight away or something?
No, I just wanted to see if I could find it to do. I don't necessarily really want it on. I don't want to be in crisper definition. That's why I don't even turn on the lights. It's safe in the dark.
Safe in the dark, did you say?
Mm. Yep. And in the blur, it's safe.
Crikey. What I have to do is just touch my head and I get handfuls of hair falling out. I won't even have to cut it. It will all just fall out on its own soon.
They say it's about 50 hairs a day you lose.
Yeah, well, if that's an average, I reckon I'm way up over and above the average. G'day, Vince. How's it going? And back. What happened? Talking about the freezing stuff. Yes, I thought if Scungy froze on everyone else's screen at the same time she froze on mine, it was quite a interesting moment to freeze at.
What's that?
Yeah, you had just turned your head on the side like this and were making a funny face-ish.
Nice. I like a good freeze moment. The more awkward, the better.
Yeah. At least that way you can tell that it's frozen and someone's not just sitting there being bland.
Well, I was at you that
Stuff.
other day on Pam's, and one of the times that you froze was as you were just.
That was my turn.
But yeah, as you were taking a sip, and then you froze, and so it just looked like you were taking a long sip.
That may happen again because my internet just is doing sketchy things again right now.
You're looking really blurry for me now.
Yeah, my signal's dropped drastically. So I wouldn't be surprised if I cop a boot out.
I can never tell on mine because sometimes when my internet's dodgy, then you start freezing up. But sometimes other people say that you're not freezing for them. So I never know if it's me or you when you freeze.
Well, I don't know if you get, when you're a guest, whether you get the same graphic on top, but where the time counter is at the top left-hand side of the screen, I get a little, like a Wi-Fi symbol that shows you the overall signal. Oh, look out, look out. Let's bring this strange individual onto the screen. G'day, mate.
Oh,
Cheers.
out and about.
That's right.
Like a real person.
We're at the courthouse, eh?
Back in action. No masks, no check-in. Hello, beer.
What's your beer of choice there today?
Cooper's Blue today.
Blue.
What's the blue one? I haven't had blue.
Hoppier.
Okay.
Hippity hoppity. Can't stop it.
Yeah, it
You hear
struck
the
me as
drumming?
yeah. Is that the groups of people wandering around the street celebrating?
Oh, someone at the drum shop having a go.
Ah, right, that's right. Yeah, forget that little store's there.
Yeah.
Right.
Just like cram some crap into that little joint, don't they?
Fucking A. Yeah.
You've barely got room to breathe.
So I won't stay on for long because my battery will just get devoured by this. But I thought I'd get on quickly and say quick today and get out and about.
Nice one. Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen you.
Yeah, sorry guys. Been flat out. Helping the wife with her biz. Oh, VB, very beautiful.
It's being affected by my blurry background software. Oh, great. Yeah, VB, T-Bane. Good spot, mate. Good spot.
All right. Good to see everyone. Hi, everyone in the chat. I better go.
All right, dude. Thanks for swinging in.
See you next week.
Catch you now.
Bye.
Yeah, when I was... Yeah, like, I haven't been checking in everywhere, but I'm not sure if the checking in still stops. I think the checking in is probably still sensible to partake in, especially with the recent crap that's happened in Mullen.
Maybe. But that all makes sense. I took Teo to the shops before, and I'd forgotten my bag. And so I didn't have my mask, but I had like a hospital one still in the car from hospital trips, and so I was like pulling it on as I was walking in the shops, and like no one was wearing masks. There was like a couple of people, but hardly anyone. And I was really confused. So I just pulled mine off. So I was like, well, no one else is. But of course, it's the 15th. I didn't realize.
Yeah, I was still putting my mask on going into shops. Yeah. Apparently there was a small cluster around the high school based on the high school or something. So yeah, if there's a few extra cases floating around the area, I'd rather try and be safe to some extent. Even though masks don't protect me, they protect the others.
Mm.
Yeah.
And plus, I'm pretty sure, like the mask that I've been wearing, I don't really think it's doing a very good job. Like it might be catching spit droplets, big ones if they were flying out of my mouth, but you know, it's just cotton. I saw some thing about the effectiveness and stuff of different kinds of masks, and I don't think it was probably very effective anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, Mickham, it's very hot down here at the moment. And there's been very little breeze today until just now it's starting to pick up. It's not helping a lot, though. But yes, I assume that you were saying it looks hot because of my shiny forehead. G'day, Scotty. Alien World Aquatics in the house. What's a block over on the western side, GRB? Is that just a carton of 24 stubbies? Or is that the little throwdowns? Because, yeah, I've been buying the 30-pack cans. And they've been $57 or $59. Because, yeah, normally a carton of VB stubbies is 24 stubbies for 52 or something. It's crazy. Yeah, if that's the 30 block of cans for $2 for $80, I'll get some mail order, thanks. Stubby is 12 ounces, I think. Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't remember what a fluid ounce is. Hello, how are you? Yeah, go for your life. No. Thought I heard two voices. Well, then again, just a little bit talking to herself, I think, as she came in. Yeah, 30 block, right. Bloody hell. That's 60 cans for $80. What's that? $1.20 each, roughly. Stock up, GRB. G'day, Gaffer, the bored old fart himself. How's it going? A virologist on TV a few months ago said, if you're frying bacon with your mask on and can smell it, the mask will not stop the virus. Yeah, well, viruses are one of the smallest things, aren't they? As far as cell size and whatnot. But I'm not sure if they're smaller than stank particles. Who can tell? Yeah, I 100% agree with what Mickham says, that the primary role is to minimise the amount of spittle you're casting upon other people. My Currawong, he's such a funny, cool bird. Runs like a roadrunner along the ground with his wings pointing down to the ground at the back, not parallel to his body. Oh, such a funny creature. For such a highly intelligent bird, they're just so goofy looking. It's great. Alrighty, what else has been going on? What were we going to talk about today? We had all of these subjects lined up.
Yeah, I don't really have anything. Unfortunately, I'm hot. I still feel, well, I'm okay at the moment today. this morning. Mediocre. But I just feel hot and melty and I have nothing exciting happening. Unfortunately.
Double aquatic guy, Scotty. Swimming teacher. You know, jack of all trades. Well, I've cleared out one fish tank, made a bit of space over there. I've cleared all of the junk off the table behind. So yeah, now I'm on to moving that table out of the way and emptying the tank in front and moving it back, potentially onto the bench instead of on a stand, to create more space. And so yeah, that'll be nice to get some achieving done.
Yeah. Always when I'm sitting out there at that bit at your house, I'm mentally removing everything and just putting things back in different arrangements.
It's so overdue.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we've got family coming on the Christmas day to this area. My fish room becomes the entertaining area when we have more than 3 people here. So, yes, the onus has fallen upon me to make it considerably presentable, because it's a bit of a shambles. I'm a bit of a slobby kind of guy. The only thing I'm not slobby with is food scraps. I don't like leaving food scraps around. But any other mess, yeah, fine with mess. Worst 5 minutes of my life, not letting the outside world into the... I'm a bit confused by that. Did you let the outside world into your house for 5 minutes? I'm confused, Gaffer. You've successfully confused me. Some would say not difficult to achieve. I'm going to go and achieve myself another beer, because it's beer weather. It's beer season.
Probably is. I'm going to be looking forward to going swimming after this. But even better would be beers in the swimming pool.
Beers in the swimming pool.
I still want to do the like having the cocktails at the pool, because like my pool's got this area, like there's like a spa kind of, and then there's this section, and then there's the pool, and it's got little stools in the water of the pool, so you can sit and have your drinks there. And like when I first moved in here, I looked at that and thought, oh, cocktails in the pool. I've never done it.
Yeah, we'll get there one day.
Please.
A moment.
Ooh. The borders are opening up.
Yeah, that opened up today as well, I think. But
Okay.
because when I had to go down to take a sample down to the pathology lab for Mum before, and there was a couple of young dudes who were stressing out about going over the border into Queensland, because when they were doing the application for the border pass was telling them one thing, but the lady in the pathology lab was saying, no, that's not right. And so, yeah, if you're in the area for more than 2 weeks, then all you need... Actually, I don't even think you need a negative test. You just need your proof of vaccination. But yeah, I think they were under the impression that the government site was telling them that they needed a negative COVID test to cross the border. But apparently you don't need that now.
Still, I'd be trusting what it says on the website where you get the border pass over somebody who works somewhere.
Yeah.
just a person versus the actual official statement. But so does that mean only double vax can go across?
I assume so, because
What about Queenslanders coming down here? They can only come if they're double vaxxed.
I'm not sure. I haven't looked into it. That's my only experience.
I was just formulating a little plan in my head, but I'll hang on to it and talk to you about it when it will be less annoying for everyone to have to listen.
I would potentially just go onto that Queensland medical site, or Queensland government, whatever the site is, and dig around on there and see what you can find out. It's probably the safest. G'day, Ian Atkins. How do you do? And we have a new guest to the show today. So, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between, please welcome to the show Captain Robot Pants.
'Tis I, the captain of the robotic pants. What's going on?
Sweating.
A bit of sweating. Sweating is
You guys
probably
sweating?
the
Oh my god,
main activity right now.
man,
As
that's like literally the polar opposite. Because, like this morning, my truck was so frozen you couldn't open the doors. Like, you unlock the door, right, and then you pull on the handle, and you're like, "That's not opening." And then so you got to go get like a pry bar, and then like yank the door open, and you're like, "Oh man, did I ruin the seal or something?" I don't know, but there it is. It's pretty weird.
it's so
I'm just
Hold
a
out.
bit jealous.
yeah, it's hard to fathom.
It's
kind of-
frustiferous. I'm telling you, dude. Yeah,
done.
it's like you know what's weird? I think I've had this conversation because there's like people that like the hot and there's people that like the cold, right? And I've always thought like the big difference between the hot and the cold is that when it's too hot, there's like nothing you can do. You know what I mean? Without like some kind of wild scientific invention. You know what I mean? It's like I've gone to the supermarket and I'm in the freezer aisle, but I can only be here for a little while, so I shall just lay down on the frozen cod fillets for a while, right? But like if it's cold out, you could put on a couple of jackets and light something on fire, and it's like caveman had this technology. So it's like it feels easier to overcome the cold, I guess.
This has always been my argument in wanting to be in the cold.
Yeah, because like when it's super hot, you just like, well, I guess it's the same thing. If it's super duper cold, you also get really tired. You know, it's just a different tired. It's hypothermic tired. You know,
Yeah.
but I guess it's like super hot. You're like, I don't want to do anything right now. Oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can achieve nothing all summer.
I don't like that
But yeah,
vibe. I don't like
But when
that.
when it's cold too, you've got some clothes on and you get moving, you warm yourself up as well.
Yeah, you got to start chopping wood, and
Yeah.
doing all
That's it.
sorts of, like try to catch a marmot or something and skin it. There's a lot of things.
Sure.
You got to stay busy. You better stay busy when
Yeah.
it's real cold out, right?
Yeah.
You need yourself a fire, so you go and chop some wood, and then you're all hot from chopping wood. You don't need the fire anymore. It's a vicious circle.
No, you need the fire because when you get all hot from chopping the wood in the cold, you gotta light up that fire because you gotta dry off. Cold and wet equals cold and dead.
I think Pam was saying the other day on her stream that it was equivalent of minus 22 degrees Celsius in Wyoming the other day.
Yeah.
It seems quite brutal.
Yeah, it doesn't get that cold where I live. But if I go up the hill, like if you go up to the mountains, it'll get that cold up there. But Wyoming's like it's a special freaky kind of cold because it's like it's coming down off the mountains and it's flat, so it just whips you right in the face. You know, it's that real wind-blown cold and low temperature, very low temperature. Like today, what's freezing? Oh, Celsius freezing is 0, right? Obviously, duh.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was like maybe 1. It was like 0 out this morning and like maybe 1. You know what I mean? Whatever that equates to, like 35 Fahrenheit. You know, so it was my truck was all frozen and it was cold, but it was not fun cold. It was just like, oh God, what is this? You know, because if it was like snowing or something, you're like, oh yeah, this is exciting. Today is just like, you know, because then it warms up just a little bit, and so everything's just like wet and cold. But you know, it's all good. I got lots of rain gear, so I'll be all right. Galoshes, farm boots, you know.
You missed a sneaky little visit by Z-Beam just before.
Oh, where'd he go? Was he here? Was he gone?
He was here, but he's today marks a momentous occasion for many Australians that they've lifted lots of restrictions and stuff. So now you can go into the pubs without a mask on.
Oh.
And catch up with people and drink, and they're opening up borders. So we've got thousands and thousands of people going both ways across the Queensland and New South Wales border.
Yeah.
So I expect we'll see, you know, quite a few more cases in the coming weeks.
Oh yeah, yeah. We have our own personalized COVID interaction here this week. Somebody at Olivia's daycare had COVID, so now we're on the what's going on here list.
Close contact watch.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Getting tested. Daughter's at home. Luckily, Vicky can kind of just take off from work, so you know, when you're the boss, you can just be like, "Well, I got to stay home with my daughter."
Well, being the boss grants you amazing powers of delegation, so it means she can go, "You do this, you do that, and you do that. I'm gonna do nothing.
I'm gonna take care of my daughter." Yeah, so we're on that right now, and we'll see what happens. But I don't know. I mean, I've been vaccinated 3 times now, so I don't know how many times I'm supposed to get vaccinated, but it shall continue.
Yeah, well, the last thing I heard is they're recommending every 6 months you're going to need a booster or something if the strains keep mutating.
Which seems to be the case. That's probably going to happen. So, who knows? Yep. But it's all right. We'll be okay.
Yeah, we'll survive. And if we don't, we'll die.
That's true. It's true. If we don't survive, we will in fact be dead. That's kind of how that works, right?
Well, sometimes people understand things easier if you break it down to a binary situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's either good or it's bad. No grey areas.
There can never be a gray area. So everyone's just wilding out down in Australia, then, huh?
Yeah, I reckon this weekend will be a very interesting time with the first weekend where all of those millions of tourists can flood back into the area and make us all crook. Ugh, shit. My beer is climbing back up my throat trying to get out. G'day, Aquaman. Didn't see you sneak in. Hope I didn't miss anyone else. If I did.
You got to watch out. They sneak in. You know what I mean?
Mm.
They come sneaking in like unannounced. You got to watch out for them. Those peoples.
Yeah, one of my sons had a friend who is a close contact to a COVID case, so thankfully he found that out before he went and visited him.
Oh, yeah.
G'day, Nath. How are you, buddy? S is requesting Scunch Princess to burp.
If I can make one, I'll share it with you. You never know.
Everyone.
When was it? After we got off Pam's, and we were still talking. I got a bunch then. I might need to
Lots
get
of-
another drink.
Lots of burps. Were you just burping hard?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was.
Huh.
She was
Yeah.
a machinery piece of burp.
I'm a fan.
I like it, but I'm I'm often like disappointed by my burps. They sort of they lack impact. But I feel that I got a few good ones in on Sunday.
Yeah, it's just a shame they were in private.
I know.
The world needs your burps.
Sometimes I think I've got a really good one, and I go to like get all ready to do it, and it just comes out like kind of.
Yeah, like that one I did before that I thought was going to be a good one, but unfortunately it came up with all this beer froth as well. So
Yeah.
they just come out sounding like soap.
Come out sounding like, wait, what?
Like soap.
Like soap.
If soap was audible, that's what soap would sound like.
Oh my God. Okay.
You know, like something
didn't get that.
might smell yellow.
Right. Right. Got it. Oh my God. Traffic today was just the worst, bro. I'm telling you guys, you have no idea.
Is it because it's coming up to the silly time of year? Or is it
Dude,
just
I don't know, man. It would I guess Christmas is coming, so maybe that's it. I don't. It's just bonkers, man.
is it
Maybe like everybody's car doors were frozen shut, and so it sort of delayed everyone leaving, and so everyone was sort of at the same time trying to rush to get where they're going after they've
Yeah.
been delayed.
This was in the afternoon, so the drive home tonight was just crazy. It was nuts. I don't know. It's like 3 hours of going 5 miles an hour or whatever, basically zero, and then all of a sudden 70 miles an hour, and then zero again. Yeah, I don't know. It was brutal, dudes. It was brutal. 3 hours in the car going slow is just not fun.
And how many hours does it usually take you?
you used to say 90 minutes. You had a 90-minute
Yeah,
commute.
it's like 90 minutes basically. It's like an hour. Okay. If there was like no traffic, it would be like I could do it in under an hour. But it's normally like an hour and a half. Yeah, at least basically.
And is it is
That's
it
still a big commute.
Yeah, it's a
dual
long way.
carriageway?
I don't know how many kilometers it is. Like well over 100. I don't know.
is it at least highway lanes? So you've got 2 or 3 lanes of traffic, or is it just one each way?
It's 5.
Oh, a proper highway then. Wow, that's just bananas that 5 lanes of traffic can go at snail's pace.
Did go 0. Yeah.
So many humans.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's just, yeah. I don't know. There's nothing to do about it except for sell this house and move somewhere else.
Closer to work or not? That's not a concern. Just get
Yeah,
the right
closer,
house.
closer to work, yes. Yeah, we're going to move like 60 miles north, something like that. Maybe 80. Maybe 80 miles north. I don't know. We live
Now,
like
Scungy,
we live
did you
like
go and
40
get your
miles
drink?
south. We live like 40
No, I
miles
haven't
south.
yet. Shall I go and do that?
Yeah, because then we can set your question time up.
Wait, where are you going? What happened?
She needs another beverage before she starts shooting questions out.
Are you going to start shooting questions out about what?
Stuff.
I don't know what's happening right now. I got totally confused.
Neither do I. But like yeah, I will go and get a drink. I'm happy to do that bit.
Did she have a cigarette in her hand then as well? Was she subtly trying to show me that she was going for a smoke as well?
I don't know.
I don't
know
think
what
she
she
did.
was
I
doing.
think it might have just been the microphone section on her headset. No, she was asking me a bunch of questions about shrimp earlier today. And I said, you know, what a great opportunity. You might be on a stream later on today with a guy who knows a little thing or two about shrimps.
I know a thing or two about shrimps, I guess.
Oh, no, I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about this other guy that might have been coming on.
Oh, cool.
No, I wasn't. I was talking about you.
I dig it. Who's that other guy? I dig it.
So, yeah, I said, you know, instead of me trying to fumble around some half-assed answers to your questions and pretend that I know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
let's ask someone who's fairly confident that they know that what they're talking about.
We may never know. We may never know. Aquaman was saying, might as well just catch the variant. I'm going to tell you guys, like, do not intentionally catch the coronavirus. It's not good. You're rolling the dice with some dumb after effects and the possibility of being, you're just rolling the dice with bad outcomes. It's not going to be good. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh, I was trying to remember this funny meme that I saw. No, I shouldn't have even mentioned it because now I can't even remember it. G'day, Chewy. How's it going? Chewy's asking if I'm assuming that means Corvus hit hard by the rainstorm. Plenty rain.
Dude, we're always hit hard by the rainstorm, dude. So I don't know. It's pretty normal. It's pretty normal around here. I don't know what's
is that rainstorm that he's referring to. The what did you have? Hurricanes and shit, didn't you? Across 4 states or something.
No, that was tornadoes and stuff, and that's not even remotely
south
near
from
here.
you, wasn't it? Yeah.
No, it's like I don't know, 2,000 miles east.
But yeah, that seemed pretty full on too.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, and it gives you, if some people want to understand what it's like, when I have criticisms of basically like the capitalist, just this like crazy capitalist system that we're in that is running rampant, like it did before the Great Depression, like it did before the Great Depression. It's doing the same thing that it did before. There was a hurricane, or not a hurricane. There was a tornado in Kentucky that destroyed a warehouse while the warning sirens were going off, warning reports were going off, 911 emergency stuff was saying evacuate, there's a tornado directly where you are. We have a warning system that makes your cell phones go off, right? All those were going off, and the managers at the warehouse told people they'd be fired if they left.
Fuck.
If you leave work right now, you'll be fired if you leave. And 8 people died as of this morning when the tornado hit that building, and I don't know what I don't know what to tell people, but that's a perfect example of like how wildly rampant this whole system is, just flying off the rails at this point.
G'day, Chappie. Bedtime for Chappie. Hi and bye, then Chappie. Have a good sleep.
Chappie showed up and then left. Had to go to bed. It's like, hey man, what's up? Okay, I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, Pam was saying there was a daycare hit as well, which was terribly unfortunate, wasn't it? Or a preschool or a kindergarten or something.
Yeah, it's not good. But the thing is that a week will go by, and then it'll basically be forgotten, and then there'll be
Hopefully
some mass shooting or something.
Hopefully the people in that warehouse responsible for keeping all those people in see some comeuppance from the law.
Will they get some comeuppance from the law? Likely not. No, probably not. I mean, I don't know what law they broke.
I don't know. Human rights violations.
Well,
it's
that
a
would
war
be
crime.
That's like international law, though. So I guess they'd have to get prosecuted by like Denmark
The
or
UN.
something. Yeah, or the UN. Yeah, it's a mess.
Yeah, brutal. But Chewy's saying, lots of rain in his neighbourhood as well, by the look of it, the sound of it. In the old Canada.
Oh, Lunatic French says, well, glad it did not affect me, but some areas were bad in Washington. It's been bad for the last 3 months in Washington with the precipitation, flooding, windstorms, rain. It's just, that's how it is. It's just how it is here. I mean, was I affected? I mean, one of the gutters on the house broke the other day, and I had to fix it. But like, that kind of crap happens all the time. You own a house, stuff's gonna break. I don't know.
I was trying to do some guttering too.
Oh, there you go.
Bloody bought 50 mil instead of 40 mil, but didn't I? You got to measure. Measure is the key to getting the right pipe sizes instead of just eyeballing it.
You got to measure. It's
or trying to remember it.
Yeah, that's the best thing when you're at the store and you're like, I think it was, yeah, that's the one, and then you drive all the way back home like, God, doesn't fit. It's the wrong one.
Now that I've got it, instead of doing the sensible thing and taking it back, you're just going to put it in the garage. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll put it in my crate of PVC fittings and stuff, and
Yep. And
I'll
then
use it one day.
And then the next thing that'll happen is that if you need that part again, you'll think, oh, I've got that part in a bin out there. And then you go out in the bin and dig around in the bin for like an hour going like, I swear it's in here. Where is it? I know. I remember putting it in here. It's like, no, this one's the wrong size also that's in here. Yep. Great.
Yeah, it's a bit of a dodgy setup though, because it's not like it's a piece of guttering, but it looks like the way that the hole has been put in the bottom is just someone's cut some lines and then folded the metal down like little flanges. So I think I'll struggle to put a PVC elbow onto there anyway. I don't think silicon likes PVC too much, does it? I'll just go to town with the silicon and hope for the best.
Right.
Or scuff it up a shit ton.
Aquaman
just-
just went to Washington for the first time a few weeks ago. It's so beautiful. It is beautiful here. Yeah.
I've heard nice things.
It's a beautiful place, man. Mm-hmm.
But when you talk about moving 60 miles north, that's still Washington State.
Yeah. Yep. It's how big is Washington State? I think it's like 300 miles top to bottom.
Just too big.
Let me see.
Can I ask my question about what shrimps are going to breed with each other?
What shrimps are going to breed what?
Oh, yeah. So I was asking Mikey before about some different shrimp
Mm-hmm.
and which ones will breed with each other
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. And he said that you're the guy who knows and that I should ask you when we go on.
What are you gonna? What do you?
Mm.
What shrimps
So-
gonna what? What do you? Well, yeah. What's your question? Yeah. it's all
Yeah.
good.
Well, so because there's like a bunch of different ones that I'm looking at, and there's a bunch of different colors in the Neocaridina,
Mhm.
and then there are just Caridina ones that have a few different like varieties after
Mhm.
the name. So I'm wondering which ones will interbreed with each other. Like if I get one variety in the Neocaridina and one in the other variety, are they going to mix breed or will they'll stay away? And what about different varieties within the Caridinas?
Yep.
Will they?
Hold on. Oh, pause. So
Okay.
Neocaridina and
Mhm.
Caridina are two different species. So
Yep.
they will not breed together. And they need different water parameters. So
Okay.
you want to pick
So
one.
okay,
and
but
then
so
target.
they're not going to be happy in the same environment with each other. Huh?
They can survive, but they won't breed or do well,
Okay.
in each other's water. Like they could survive in there, but it's not long term. It's definitely not a good idea because, like,
Okay.
so if you put Neos in Caridina water, they'll just stop breeding, and so they'll just hang around until eventually they die off. And then you'd be like, they all died. What happened? And you're like, well, they didn't breed, so there's no new generation to exist. And then Caridinas, if you put them in Neo water, they will generally last like a couple of weeks, and then they'll all just kind of die off. So they need different water. So you'd want to pick one and then target what you're going for, as far as your kind of tank parameters.
Yeah.
Now, if you're like super fussy with your tanks, I would go with like Caridinas, but Neocaridinus are way, way easier to take care of. They're much more
That
forgiving.
includes the red cherry
They're
shrimp.
the only ones. They're the only ones that I've had so far, which have been
Right.
very forgiving, except
Yeah.
for when the planaria got into the tank,
Yeah,
and
that'll
then
happen.
that didn't work out so well.
Yeah.
Okay. But then between all of the like subgroups in the Caridinas, they will interbreed with each other if you have those guys.
So if you have like a bunch of types of Neos, they generally will interbreed. I don't recommend it because you're just going to eventually end up with some kind of wild type.
Yeah.
That
So this
is-
is what I don't want. I don't want them to
Yeah.
breed. I want to have ones that if I can possibly, I have two different sort of ideas for two different spaces, but I sort of wanted ones where I can have one and a different variety in the same tank who are not going to breed with each other so that they can potentially both be in the same tank without me mixing them.
Well, like off the top of my head, like if you have the same speciation of anything, like they're gonna breed. And so like if you have some cherry shrimp, you could get like yellows or reds or blues or whatever. Um, and generally speaking, that when they breed, you'll eventually end up with brown shrimp. Is basically what it is. You'll eventually end up with like wild type looking shrimp.
Mhm.
It may take a long time, but if there's the same species in a tank, they're going to breed. Like it's just they only have two. They basically only have two things to do in their life, and that's eat and breed. It's pretty much it. Obviously they poop, but it's not even really like a function that they actively do. It just sort of happens for them. So it's just breeding and eating. That's all that they're going to do. And especially with something like shrimp that is a food source in nature, like they're going to prolifically breed because they're trying to outbreed being eaten. My advice would be just to not set yourself up for like disappointment. I would just be like, I'm going to get one type of shrimp. I'm going to keep them in there. And maybe if you have like two tanks, you could get like one type in this tank and one type in that tank, and then just let them rock that way and see which ones do better for you or worse or whatever. That's generally like would be my advice. There are. I'm trying to think. I mean, like if you got some cherry shrimp, you could put like some bamboo shrimp in there, and they're a different species. So, or you could get
Can we get those, Mikey?
What was it?
some bamboo shrimp.
shrimp.
Yeah, you guys should be able to in Australia.
Yeah.
because I think they're native in the north,
they're
northern
very-
Australia.
Very similar to the riffle shrimp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And
they're
they're like that big, like the riffle shrimp are.
They get
Yeah,
pretty
they
big.
get decent size. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But they'll be happy, like, because I was interested in also getting a prawn, but I don't have enough flow. The flow in the tank that I set up was, I set everything up to accommodate a betta originally, which I did have happily living in there for some time before it disappeared. So it's got very low flow. And Mikey was saying that the prawn won't be happy in there because there's not enough water flowing for the prawn.
Generally speaking.
But I've got the cherry shrimp, but I've only got one left because the betta ate them all. But I had a betta in there who didn't eat them, and they coexisted. And then I got a new one. And basically, the minute that he went in there, he went nuts hunting all the shrimp.
Yeah, it's definitely it's hit and miss with betas, like whether or not you're going to end up with one that that eats a bunch of stuff or not.
Yeah.
It's really like just a weird temperamental thing, or I guess temperance, I guess would be the thing, right? Like whether or not they're into eating things or not, but. I
was looking at all my different shrimp and stuff, and because I like all of the different colors, and so I was like trying to like see what ones, but I thought if I get all the same ones, I know that they'll now breed together, and then I won't have the nice colors anymore. And then I was seeing all the Caradinas, but there was like a few different sort of like subspecies of them, so they're like their full names were different to each other, and so then I didn't know whether they could go together without breeding or not and stuff. So
generally
right.
speaking, if they're in the same like I don't know if speciation is the right word for it, but if they're close enough, they can breed. It's like how you end up with like tiger cherries and stuff like that. Like they just basically end up with a different color pattern and stuff on them. But Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of different variations of shrimps that you could mix together. You just want to make sure that you just kind of go like, well, what's available, and you know, sort of match up water parameters, right? And then they won't be able to interbreed, right? So like
But
a
what do they
mono
need?
shrimp.
They need it like more acidic for the Aridanas. Is that something that I was reading?
Yeah.
Than you need for the other guys.
Yep. So cherry shrimp will have like a wide variety of range that they can live in. You want just like to have like a little bit of calcium, a little bit of hardness in the water, but nothing crazy. You know, like you don't have to. It's not like cichlid water or anything like that. Whereas the Caridinas want, you know, they want a lower pH. They want really clean water. You know, as kind of close to RODI as you can kind of get with a lower pH and stuff. And they'll generally do pretty well in that. And then if you're getting minerals in the water, you want to just like slowly add minerals. You don't want to be like dumping fertilizer in there and that kind of stuff. But
does that mean that maybe my water comes out of the ground from a bore?
Right.
Does that mean it'll probably be too high mineral content?
I have no idea.
Caridinas?
I've never tested your water, so
Yeah.
I have no idea. I mean, if we had like a water test, then we could go like, oh yeah. But generally, well water is harder and more mineralized than you know, filtered water.
That's what I'm thinking.
Generally speaking, but I've seen like a really wide variance in well waters out there. I've seen some that was like super soft and had like nothing in it, and I've seen stuff that has like off the charts hardness in like ruins faucets because there's so much crap in it. But I would say like where you're at, where you have like a lot warmer temperatures, you have like generally speaking, well water has minerals in it. Yours might not. I don't know. But with the wide, warmer temperatures and stuff you're gonna have, I would just go with Neos. And go
That's
with those.
right. It just
those
means
variants
that
they can
with
handle
one.
that. Well, they can handle that warmer water and stuff. You want stuff that can handle warmer water because it's gonna pretty often be pretty warm where you're at. Whereas Caridinas, they want like a lower temperature. You know, I can't think of what. A lot of my I don't I only actually no, I do have a bunch of Caridinas right now, but those tanks don't even have heaters on them where I'm at because you want to keep the temperature down. So it's basically just the ambient air temperature is the only thing that heats that tank. I could probably go temp it right now. It's probably like 68, 69 degrees, which is like 21 Celsius, something like that. As opposed to like Neos, you can be all the way up at like 28, 29 Celsius water temperature, and they're like, yeah, what's up? It's fine. So that would be my concern. Like if I was living in a tropical place and I knew that it was going to be warm all the time and I was likely to get warmer temperatures like that would be, I'd go like, you know, maybe I don't want to have to worry about trying to keep the water cold all the time. You know,
That's okay. Plus, the Caridinas are like 3 times as expensive.
They're much more expensive
the
because they're harder
Neos,
to keep. They're harder to keep. They're harder to breed.
That's all right.
Harder to deal with the loss of.
It's a real bummer when you lose like a really nice shrimp. Like, damn it! That might be like a $50 shrimp. You know.
Let me chuck a
in the most expensive
future.
shrimp. The most expensive shrimp I've ever owned, I brought home from Germany. I took it from Chris Lukup's tank.
Who?
Chris Lukup, the Shrimp King. It didn't last that long. I mean, it lived for a couple weeks, but it didn't last that long. But I used to keep and breed pretty expensive shrimp, like King Kong shrimps and stuff like that. I think the most expensive they were at the time was like $150 a shrimp. Little all black guys.
It's bloody nuts, isn't it?
Yeah. So, I normally recommend people to go with cherry shrimp because it's basically the same amount of fun. You can get really good varietals of them. If you wanted to have a bunch of different colors, it's going to take a while for them to breed out the color. So, realistically, if you wanted to get what's called a Skittles tank, so if you had red ones, yellow ones, blue ones, whatever, all in one tank, you're probably going to enjoy it more than you're going to be depressed about some of them being sort of wild type like 4 years from now, and it wouldn't be a huge bummer because it's not like you're paying a crazy premium for them, realistically,
Yeah, they're generally the only reasonably priced shrimp around here.
Around anywhere, really.
Yeah, I suppose. Hello to Vitra and to Emily Jefferson with an interesting comment. Emily Jefferson may be a robot. Sunfish but fish, hello to you. And Aubrey, hi there. And BJ Palmer, hi there. Yes, Mick, I'm kind of coastal rainforest. We have pockets of rainforest. We're not all rainforest around here. Coastal scrub, I like to call it.
We have that rainforest out here. It's temperate.
Temperate rainforest.
Temperate rainforest. Do you want to see some of the biggest slugs you ever seen in your entire life?
Slugs.
Big old banana slugs, baby.
Nate.
Like a big old banana,
Yeah.
but slug
Yes,
form.
I'm familiar with the banana slug.
Are you?
Not personally, but I know of it. I've seen it in pictures.
You seem like the kind of fella who might be personally acquainted with a few banana slug.
I have on my shelf a couple of these snail shells.
Ooh.
From where I used to live, we had these snails.
Dang, those are cool.
They're very cool, and they're sizable. They're a nice big snail.
Do they cruise about at like almost visible speed? You know what I mean? Like you can see them moving, but they're they're not going fast, but you can see them like scooting along.
I mean, same as like
That's pretty
snails,
rad, dude. I'll tell you this much: if I saw a big ass snail like that and it was just kind of cruising around out there, I probably would just sit down and old rocking chair and just watch the snail go, man. And be like, oh, look at them
It's super nice to see them. I did see a pair making love one night, which was really nice to see them both coming up and
sent me a video of some koalas making love. It's a wild fiasco. What the hell is going on out there? I'm telling you, in the darkness.
Brutal affair.
The beam. Yeah, it was wild noises, man. I'm telling you. How do you guys sleep? How do you get any sleep around there?
They do make some crazy noises.
Yeah, if you're unfamiliar with the noises that koalas make and you hear it for the first time, it can be quite frightening.
Like, oh my god. Do you have hummingbirds down there?
No.
No? That's a bummer. I should import hummingbirds to Australia and just ruin Australia with awesomeness. Hummingbirds are my favorite. I have lots of hummingbird feeders in my backyard.
Yeah, that's what I was going to suggest. Is that's how you ruin Australia, because all of those brightly coloured, leery plastic hummingbird feeders that you see people's yards full of. We've got enough brightly coloured plastic down here. We don't need more.
Well, they're
I
full
saw
of sugar
this really
water,
cool bird
Good
feeder.
for you. Huh?
That was like someone had made kind of like a zombie, but then they'd put a section in the sort of open head to put the bird feed in. So then all the birds come and sit on the head and pick all the feed out of it. And it's really cute.
G'day, Xanadu.
I thought if I had to have a bird feeder, I will have one like that.
Dude, I'm telling
Yeah.
you, the hummingbird feeders are like. I mean, you guys know that I like fish tanks a lot, but I don't like. I don't, I don't like get all excited and giddy when I see someone's fish tank. But I'll be outside, man, and there's like a hummingbird flying around. I get all excited. And they'll like fly up, zoom, zoom, fly around your head, just check you out, make sure you're cool. Are you cool? And then, so when I moved here, we had one hummingbird that would show up, and then he got himself a girl. Then there was more hummingbirds, and I found a hummingbird nest, which is the tiniest cutest little eggs you've ever seen in your entire freaking life. Unbelievable cool. Then they had babies. They had some babies. Then the next year, some robins ate their babies. It was crazy. There was blue jays and robins, and everyone going crazy, and the baby hummingbirds got eaten. It was a bummer. But then the Hakuna Matata. Everyone sung the Hakuna Matata, and it was like, okay, all right, that's life. But now I've got 4 nests of hummingbirds around the property, and let me tell you something. These little buggers are territorial, and they get in little, tiny hummingbird zippy bzz, bzz battles over the sugar water
just in there.
zone, and I find endless entertainment when they're out and about doing stuff. I love it. I love hummingbirds. Okay,
Yeah, I also have quite.
I have lots of really bad pictures of hummingbirds.
Yeah, I imagine they'd be quite difficult to get a sharp snap of.
They're going fucking 900 miles an hour. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I've been enjoying lots of small birds here as well. So I want to get a hanging bird feeder that I can put some feed out for all my little birds.
Aquamane's wondering if the hummingbirds come out in the cold. Yes, if there's food. Otherwise, they kind of hunker down and like sort of know where to go. They have like a weird ability to track, and they know where food is. So like they know where feeders are, and they do a weird thing where like they check an area to see if there's like flowers there at whatever. I don't know how they determine what time of year to do it, but they'll check an area and then they don't waste time going back to that area. They just go to check another area until next year. It's very weird because they're burning so many calories and stuff. They can't just like hang around and be like, well, maybe there'll be flowers here next week. They're like, F it, I'm moving on. Gotta go. Gotta jam. So I don't know, but I don't know. I'm kind of transfixed by the hummingbirds, and I probably don't know enough about them at this point. So I probably should learn more. Because why not?
Well, I know that they're the smallest bird on the planet, are they not?
Lunatic Fringe must live outside of Vancouver, BC. I'm guessing.
We have these birds here that I call the swamp pheasants.
Okay.
And they're one of my favorite birds, but they're a big bird. But lately, because they're like mostly on the ground, and they don't do a lot of flying or anything, but just lately they've been going up in the sort of trees. So my house is sort of on a side of a hill. Well, not my hands, but like the hill, and the house is sort of up here. And so they've been going up in the trees up here, and then they'll come and do a big long swoop right past my balcony to get back down to where they usually are, sort of down near the gate.
Uh-huh.
And it's been really cool getting just all of a sudden, and you hear them, they make this little whoosh whoosh sort of sound, and then they come right close and just glide right by. And it's been very exciting.
It's cool.
They are a very cool doofusy bird.
I love them.
I haven't had mine this year. Normally hear them from October through to March with their whooping.
With that whooping.
And that really whoosh, whoosh, whoosh sound that they do. But mine made a baby last year. That was cool. But I don't know. I probably told this story on stream before. So they're called the pheasant cuckoo, and most of the other birds they
Cuckoos.
sorry, of the cuckoos, they they kick out other birds' eggs, and then they lay their eggs and they get the other bird to raise it. And I did have one, a swamp pheasant that got raised by a pair of these little tiny birds called peewees, these little black and white sort of peeping little birds. And and I just thought that was normal, and only later on found out that these ones, the swamp pheasants, are meant to be the one species that we have that doesn't lay their eggs in other birds' nests. And I did see these guys raise their own baby, but I definitely saw one of the babies raised by other birds. So I don't know.
Maybe they're opportunistic nest parasites.
Maybe. That was so funny though, because the little parent birds were these tiny little birds, and then the baby bird was this massive, big, noisy bird. And and it would sit there and whinge, and the two little parent birds would come and fuss over it and feed it little bits. And of course, they can only collect little bits of stuff because they're just these tiny little birds. So it was always whinging and fussing. That was fun to watch though too.
It's pheasant cuckoo if you want to look it up. They're funky looking birds.
They're beautiful.
They look like a cross between a eagle and a cuckoo. I don't know why eagle.
And they're big, and they've got that
big
face, But I love them. I love their colors. I love watching them get around on the ground. So I sometimes can watch out my window, and they run around and stalk and hunt little bugs in the grass. Yeah, they're pretty funny.
G'day, Skipper.
When they do that stalking, like a dog,
Oh,
they watch it, and then they take their little steps, and then they run to catch the thing. They always make me happy.
Yes, certainly birds I take great joy in, as well as, probably as much as fish. Probably more so these days at the moment.
Yeah, well, you don't even like kookaburras. Kookaburra is my other favourite.
That I don't know if you remember, but I had a video where I had a kookaburra that got stuck in here against these windows, and I had to hustle it out with a broom because it was stupid, very stupid. And now that whenever that kookaburra sees me, it flies away. It's scared of me now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm.
The other two, I can I can basically walk up and scratch them on the chin if I want to. But
I had really friendly ones, but our friendly one, she was called Alfie, because she was so familiar to us, and she used to bring her babies always to come and meet us and stuff. But she got stuck in the house up against a window at some point, and I had to come and lift her out. And I didn't think she would let me, but she did. She used to come and sit on people's heads and stuff. On my kids' heads.
These damn birds. What are these damn birds up to? Can't be trusted. It's untrustworthy behavior. Sitting on people's heads.
It's so nice. But see, I have this great affection, and all the little calls, because the baby kookaburras are so noisy and they're constantly making noise all the time when they're young. And to me, I love that sound and I love how doofy they are. But Mikey just finds them irritating because they're so noisy.
That's my least favourite thing about kookaburras is baby kookaburras.
I
Just
love
making
them.
noise.
They're just so doofy. Yeah, they're just constantly calling and talking, but they don't really know what they're doing. They kind of look like a kookaburra, but they don't have any of the moves down pat, you know.
They haven't learned their voice yet.
Well, I think it's also like, because I forget some of the stuff now, but like we could tell what the different birds were like saying. You could tell from the kind of call that they were doing if they were warning for something or saying that there's food or calling the other bird to come over or they do like territorial calls and stuff like that. And what's really cute in the kookaburra family is that the siblings from that previous generation help to raise the new baby.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really nice if you're spending a lot of time with them to see them, because you see them like the one growing up and then seeing it, helping and looking after the next baby and stuff, and the next one comes up. I know.
What is it? Just never-ending bird factory down there? What's the deal here?
Yep.
They're just breeding all year round, making more birds?
No, you get like usually once a year. You got your babies coming.
Oh, okay.
And then the next year you've got last year's baby raising that year's baby.
The last few summers we've certainly had some birds that squeeze in 2 clutches of babies across the spring and summer.
Your swallows always seem to do that.
Magpies do quite often.
Swallows are untrustworthy birds. I don't trust them.
No, me neither.
You have starlings down there? Starlings suck.
Yeah. They're
Awful.
considered a pest.
Awful bird. Pest bird.
What are the starlings?
Stupid little black idiot birds that eat seeds, and like they'll peck into an apple and eat like one seed out of it and then just go to the next apple. It's like, hey, there's still more seeds in that one apple you just ruined, you stupid bird. And they're like, yeah, well, I'm just here to ruin apples, You're like, great. Now I got to get my gun. Bird. I'm just saying. They're a scourge.
I really don't like the swallows. And the other ones I don't like, the Indian miners.
Are your starlings the same as ours?
Ours are the stupid little black ones there. The black ones with the yellow beak.
Yeah. This guy is.
Yeah, a little turd.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're the same worldwide.
Little jerk bird. You got to look up.
Lovely picture of them, though.
Let's see. You got to look up.
That is very cool.
I'll post it in the chat. Look up these guys.
That's cute.
Pretty cute.
Yeah, and they go
Did
like
you
9
say they're
million.
dicks as well?
What's that?
Or did you say they're dicks as well?
He
These
said he
little guys?
loves them.
These are hummingbirds, man. They fly around a million miles an hour. They go bzzz. and they got a little tongue. They go. They're like the bee of the bird world. You know?
Well, we have a hell of a lot of what do you call them? Honey eaters down here as well, of many different types. G'day,
Yeah.
Big D.
Yeah.
Yeah, many different varieties of honey eaters with their interesting shaped tongue.
Yeah.
Do hummingbirds have those structures on the end of their tongue as well? Makes it looks like a bit of a mace.
I'm not sure. I think so. I think they have that little a little thing. You know, they got that long beak or beaking in there. You know, dipping in, getting themselves some nectar. Oh man, dang! This house sold. All right, well, we'll mark that off the list. That house has a pending offer. It's okay. It was too expensive anyhow, guys.
Saved you some burn.
Yeah. Well, you know, we're about to the point where we're gonna make some offers somewhere at some point. A while from now, still, really. But you know. Oh, should we talk about shows? We didn't have the baby here this weekend, so we did movie night Friday and Saturday.
Hang on, is that my internet going dodgy or is Corvus sounding?
I'm hearing you real dodgy.
Is it me? Am I weird?
You sound fine now.
Yeah.
Oh, am I fine now? Maybe I got weird. Maybe I was just like,
you did.
am I glitching out? I could be glitching out. Like it could just be me. You know.
That just sounded like you were talking from the bottom of a bowl of custard.
Oh, I do that.
So you're going to have to probably repeat all of what you just said.
Oh yeah, I was saying, should we talk about some shows that we like or dislike? Because we had no baby here this weekend, so we did movie night on Friday and Saturday.
2 whole movies for the weekend, or did you do multiple movies each night?
2 movies for the weekend, bro. 1 a monumental failure, and 1 a resounding success.
Oh, it's good to have balance in life, isn't it?
You gotta have balance, bros. You gotta have balance. I don't know if you guys saw. Did you see Venom 2: Electric Boogaloo? This time it's Woody Harrelson.
I don't think it's. Is it released down here yet? Yeah, it is. It's in the cinemas, but it's not on the streaming services.
Yeah, it's been out. Don't.
I kind of have to because yeah, Venom was always one of my favorites from.
Yeah, Venom's my favorite too. S says Venom 2 was amazing. What's wrong with you? Oh my god!
It's called
even
subjective.
Even Vicky didn't like it. Even Vicky was like, "What the hell just happened to me? That was awful."
Hello, One Crew X. I've not seen that name before.
Which that is not that. Vicky is not like that. Vicky is not like that. Vicky likes almost all the stuff. She's like, "Oh yeah, but there was a big explosions and stuff, so it was cool." And I'm like, "Yeah, the plot sucked and the acting was bad and blah blah blah." And Vicky's like, "Yeah, but some stuff blew up, so it was pretty fun." You know, and I'm like, "All right, dude, okay." She's just so optimistic about whenever we watch stuff. She's like, "What's wrong with your brain? Just like it." And I'm like, "I don't. I'm mad." And then but then I also tell her that hey, you know, I have good taste. I chose Vicky Toria. You know, I'm like, I chose you.
Solid comeback.
I have discerning tastes, correct? Right?
Yeah, that's good day. Good day.
Venom 2 was not good. It was just, man. And also, not to mention, it was only 90 minutes long. I'm going to be honest with you guys. A 90-minute movie just just is not doing it. It's not cutting it. It's not cutting it. The plot was super thin. Like the battles were like, what? Okay, I guess the main character just has plot armor. So yeah, it was not good. But I will tell you, I was pleasantly surprised by Ry Reynolds in Free Guy.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I haven't yet, but I've certainly on my to watch list.
I will tell you that was a really original movie that developed some extra characters that you didn't expect to even show up they weren't even in the trailer. And there was like, oh, there's other there's other characters in this. There's parts to it that are unexpected. It's really funny. Like there's a lot of funny parts that you don't even have to be like a super nerd to get. It was really well done. There's some really good cameos in it. The ending is like an unexpected sort of happy ending or something. I don't know. It feels like a good like you feel resolved at the end. I don't know. I thought it was really done, really well done, and pretty original. Even for the premise and stuff like that. So it was. I thought Free Guy was really worth it. It cost us $20 to watch Venom 2, but it cost $1.99 to watch Free Guy. So I got a lot more value out of that $2 versus the $20. And it was just a solid movie. It was fun 2 hours. Like it was pretty good. I liked it.
I thought Free Guy was streaming for free now.
I don't know. It might be for free in Australia, but it was like $2 here. So it's like, whatever.
Yeah, $2 is all right.
Sort of an innocuous charge.
Also, Chewy, back to your comment about Todd McFarlane, I believe I saw a tweet the other day on the Twitter that he was involved again in the artwork of the Venom comics. I could be wrong.
I'm not sure.
He might just be inking or colouring or something, but I know he's back there doing stuff again.
I don't know, man. Todd's always just been such a weirdo. He's always been like a level of weird that is just like, okay, you know.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is he's quite an intense level of weird, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
As highlighted by some of the action figures that you don't really want to play with that I've got of his. That I've got this big box full of Todd McFarlane toys, boxed up, cleaned up. They're all still in their packaging. Still waiting for the Spawn movie remake to come out, so I can capitalize on, the commercial success of that movie and potentially make some more money off toys that people will be familiar with. Maybe.
He has always been like all about the toy sales in a really weird way. Obviously, the merch has been very good to him.
Yeah, well, I think he came along with his, comics kind of hitting some level of mainstream just as action figures and stuff were becoming a really huge collectible item.
Yeah.
So I think the businessman inside Todd said, let's bloody make a bunch of them.
Like, let's do it. Yeah.
I have a still boxed Kurt Cobain action figure.
Kurt Cobain action figure.
A Kurt Cobain action figure?
Aquaman was saying in the chat earlier in the piece that he went on his visit to Washington. He said Kurt Cobain's houses. So, maybe there's
in Aberdeen?
More than one on the tourist list.
Yeah, Vicky's mom lives out there.
I'm beering up. Oh, half can in focus, half not. Science.
Science.
She blinded me with.
She's blinded me with science.
Ouch. Damn it. One Crew X says, I'm new here, just wanted to say the host resembles a slightly older Bray Wyatt.
Who's Bray Wyatt?
That was my next question.
I'm looking it up. I'm going to see if it's a compliment. We have not been complimented. Neither of us. Neither of us have been complimented. My God, man.
I'll have to look it up now, won't I? Or are you sharing it?
You're going to have to look it up. It's going to be your own demise. You deal with it, not me. I can't deal with it. It's too much, bro.
Well, you know, I accept that I'm a large, fat, yet extremely muscular dude with a beard and short hair on the sides of my head.
You want to be a wrestler, boy? You want to do some wrestling? Yeah.
Not with my knees.
That's true.
I don't know who it is, but the few times that people in the chat have said that you look like somebody. Oh, there was one person, I think, was it someone from Mad Max or something, that I could see where they were coming from. But the other ones were just like so, I don't know, just like such different human beings to what you look like.
Well, that's
Or
the
it's
thing.
hectic.
Facial recognition and stuff is it's very subjective to what people use as their reference points. So, you know, they might just see this tiny little bit on the end of my nose and go, oh, that person's got one of them as well. So they're incredibly similar. Similar.
Yeah. I just remember there was like a period and there was like a couple of people saying, and I was just
that one, you know.
I think
This
like the
one,
most.
it
I think
looks
the most accurate. I think the most
Definitely
accurate
there.
representation of Mikey there is here we go. There he is. Isn't this your childhood photo, right? Isn't this is a photo of you when you were young, right?
Man, that kid was young even when I was young.
Was that? Are you sure that wasn't you? I think that was you. I think you were out there with your boomerang and living in a hole, right?
As soon as I was school age, I wasn't allowed to have long hair.
Oh, you weren't?
Until I was big enough and, you know, old enough to refuse to go to the barbers. And then I grew the most spectacular mullet ever. I like his mask, Swan Crew. It's like he's a big fan of Slipknot. I bet he comes out to some bloody heavy metal or something when he walks down the ramps.
Yeah, probably. Yow.
What I was going to say, which wrestling organization does he wrestle in?
You want to wrestle?
That he says it's released from WWE. Has he been fired from the WWE?
Uh-oh, he must have been fired. He's got shit canned by the old Wrestling Federation.
Oh, that one
Los
almost
Federales de
South Sydney
Man
colours.
Grapple.
Oh, look at that one. He's nearly got the same tits as me. I have much bigger areolae though.
Tits McGee over here.
Yeah, I think I might have even had bigger biceps than him at one stage.
Oh my god, guys, this would be the biggest fish room ever.
Bugs.
What happened? What was that? Was it a bird? Did you get attacked by a bird?
If it was a very tiny, might have been a nano bird.
A pico bird?
Pico bird. I did have one.
But still, I get
coming after me.
you get that at night though when something comes by, and because you can get those massive big brown moths that are about yay big, and then you get bats that are about the same size, and sometimes there's like get spooked by something. I'm never sure whether it's a bat or a moth.
Oh my god. I'm not a big fan of bats. I mean, I guess I don't mind bats.
Like bats.
I'm not a big fan though. Can't say I'm like fanboying out on the bats.
Oh yeah, I love bats.
They're always swooping about like
Yeah,
dingleberries.
I'm very unpredictable.
Yeah.
But what you've got to do is convince yourself that their echolocation is on point, that they know
That's true.
exactly where they're going.
Yeah, if you
Well, you
just
know how
stay still, they don't ever hit you.
Do you know how to mess with their echolocation? You take a ball of foil. You make a ball of foil, chuck it up in the air, and they go after it like, and then they realize it's a ball of foil.
Interesting.
Foiled again. Do you guys have
Yeah, I used-
aluminum foil
That's
down there? Do you know what
interesting.
aluminum foil is in the outback?
We've
Down
got alfoil.
Oh, sorry, aluminium. Aluminium. Is that how you say
Yeah.
it? Do you say aluminum or aluminium?
Aluminium. We generally say words how they're spelt.
That's not how you say it. That's not how you say aluminum. Hey,
Yeah,
we went over this before, right? Didn't we find out that like aluminum was discovered by
Look at
some Danish guy or something like that?
Yeah, I think
Wait.
it stemmed from the same starting off of the discussion as well, that we were teasing each other about how one country pronounces and spells the word, and then we went down a aluminium wormhole,
Yeah, deep,
worminium, holium.
dingy. We went down a deep, dark, dingy, bat-filled aluminium wormhole of doom and darkness and guano. It was filled with mucho guano. Yeah.
I have just realized something. Not very interesting, maybe, but I just realized that I think my python ate all of the bats that were living in my roof.
They were
Yeah.
living in your room.
No, in the roof. So I had little
in the roof.
micro bats in the roof, right?
Pico
And
bats.
they used to sometimes come inside. Like if I left the door open at night, they'd come and I'd find them hanging around in the house and stuff.
Oh, get them out
And
of there.
I had quite a few. Well, you know, I liked them, but sometimes they needed help to get out. And there were definitely some nesting in the roof. And then the last time that the electrician came, he pulled out like a massive python skin out of the roof. And he was freaking out, going, "Oh my God, do you realize you have a snake?" And I was like,
You got a fucking sea monster living in your attic. Sorry.
so, you know, I was like, you know, it's fine. I know there's a snake around. But I've just realized that sort of not much before he found that skin in there is kind of when the bats kind of vanished. And I've just added 2 and 2 together and realized what's going on.
Do you think the snake is still up there?
No, I'm sure it can get in and out.
Has it left or is it back? You know.
I don't know if it's in there right now.
What if it comes down and bites your eye or something?
That would be amazing.
That would be a feat indeed.
It'd be a hootenanny.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very
Fortunately,
fond of snakes and bats.
yeah, I was going to say, fortunately, a lot of Australian people are raised with a lack of fear of big pythons.
Oh,
They're
Most
just
people,
friendly
most
and
people know
sweet.
they don't mean any harm.
pythons. Yeah.
Couldn't
Yes, I did
even.
hear that, Chewy. I did know that he loves his baseball and wanted to play, but was quite shit.
Oh my God, this house has a 1,200 square foot shop. I want to buy it right now.
Well, you did say you were going to make some offers.
The shop in this
Three,
thing is 1,200
feet.
square feet.
That's a lot of feet.
1,200 to be in
It's
fact.
probably not really, is it?
What? Feet?
A lot of feet.
How,
Yeah.
how big is that?
1,200 square feet. It's like 40 by 30.
I was going to say some silly joke like that too.
Was it like it's like 10 feet by 120 feet long?
10 meters by 13 meters, roughly.
Okay.
It's pretty
Like
big.
maybe like the size of my shed. Would it be that big? That's a good space in there.
Yeah, probably a little bit bigger than your one. Because your shed, if you're talking about your big green one, I believe that's 6 meters across and 10 meters long.
Oh.
Mm.
I'm gonna send this one to Vicky and tell her that we're moving. I'm moving in tomorrow.
Pack your things.
Hey, if I could have a 1,200 square foot fish room, I think you guys would enjoy that.
Well, I think if you had 1,200 square feet, you could split that thing in two and have fish room and still workshop.
Nope, because it has a 650 square foot wood shop.
Mm.
Suck it. Suck it. Oh my God. It's got two
As-
shops, buddy.
Right, as well as Jesus.
And a woodshed. And a regular garage. 2-car garage. So Vicky could park her car in there. And it won't get ice all over it like it happens here.
Just because it's inside a shed doesn't
In a
get cold in the
garage.
shed.
In a gay rage. Am I saying that right? Gay rage? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Garage.
There's gay rage everywhere.
Car park with the door on it. I don't know. What do you,
Did you know-
guys call it? What do you call it? You call it a garage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Did you know the word
Brits, they have it over
garage? The word garage became popular in the earlier in the century, and do you know what the alternative was that people were using? Motor
No.
stable.
A what?
Motor stable.
Motor stable? That's no good.
Yeah.
But nobody
They went
likes
with-
that.
They went with, I believe, the French word garage.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody likes motor stable. That's trash. Nobody likes that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was motor. It was something stable anyway. It wasn't car stable because I
Right.
didn't call them cars back then.
Well, you know, people are
It was
stupid.
motor stable.
People are stupid and they can't be trusted. You know. You know the rules. You know the rules, my guy.
Sure do's. So you told us about your movies. I haven't seen any movies this. I did start to watch. What was it called? Arkansas Chainsaw Massacre or something? No, Shark Massacre. Arkansas
Shark Massacre?
Massacre or something like that. It was one of those D or E grade movies with really
I have
dodgily
to
shot.
go to the loo and get a drink and stuff.
Rogie. One of those dodgy creature movies where the animals are quite poorly computer animated. So you go in for a laugh, like Megapython versus Gatoroid, all those kind of movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I lasted about half an hour and I couldn't even do that one. And I generally like them. I generally find them a great giggle. That Megapython versus Gatoroid was quality. I think that had Debbie Gibson, the old singer from the 80s.
Yeah, I remember Debbie.
And who was the red-headed one? One name.
Oh, Tiffany.
Tiffany, that's her, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, she was in it too. They had a really cool fight scene at like a dinner, so it became a food fight and a wrestle. And Tiffany she's become quite a chunky lass in her recent years, and was spilling out of her outfit all over the place. It was a good fight scene. But yeah, those two girls,
good show.
On a level of acting skill, those two girls get a 2 out of 10. Not great actresses.
No. You figure you would have brought the chops, you know what I mean? But turns out not so much.
But it's good to see that Tiffany has maintained some level of healthy lifestyle, but Debbie Gibson, on the other hand, had not. She was like as thin as a rail. Looked like she'd been doing meth for the last 10 years.
Ooh, that's a problem.
Not very nice, but a good movie. Good fun film.
Good.
Yeah. But like I said, when I watched that, I was going through a phase of watching all of those D-grade big creature movies.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots
the creature
of them.
feature.
Yeah, it's just a shame that none of them have the notoriety that Sharknado's got. All the Sharknado.
Yeah, that it is unfortunate
because they all do the same quality level of animation and filming and acting, but for some reason the Sharknado ones just took off.
It's true. It's a true story. The Sharknado, for some reason, just I don't know, man. People were like transfixed by it for whatever bizarro reason. I don't rightly know, but it is what it is. What are you gonna do?
And
None
of them,
I guess.
None of them take themselves seriously, which is one of the best things about that type of movie. Is that they know they're making shit, and it's just all for a laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to know. You have to have the self-awareness of like you have to know that you're making a shit movie, for it to be decent, right?
Yeah.
What is this? What?
There we go. It's called Sharkensaw Women's Prison Massacre.
I do think that I've seen that movie because I remember the fight between Debbie and Tiffany.
Yeah, was it
Debbie and Tiffany?
I'm pretty sure it was Megapython versus Gatoroid.
Yeah.
Is that what it was
Agreed.
called?
Something like that.
Yeah, that's the one. Quality. And the scenes at the end when the Megapython and the massive gator were going into town was pretty fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
They really went solid on the animation.
Oh yeah. What are you excited for that's coming out? The Speederman is coming out this week. I'm pretty excited about that one.
Yeah, that should be pretty glorious.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like nothing but good. It looks like it's going to be good.
One thing that's confused me with movie releases is that of late lots of our movies down here are coming out at the same time as movies up there. But your Ghostbusters Afterlife is not released down here until New Year's Eve.
Oh,
Or
really?
it might even be January 1. Yeah.
The Ghostbusters isn't out yet. I am excited to see the Ghostbusters. It continues to escape my brain, of like yeah, I want to see the Ghostbusters real bad, and then just somehow it just slips right out of my brain, just slides right out of my ear hole or something. I don't know how it's happening, but it's
It's
continuing
certainly
to happen.
getting
But I'm
mixed
like,
reviews, isn't it?
I forgot. Yeah, admittedly, I've seen good and bad, but it's hard to say these days, like which reviewers are being paid and which ones aren't, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the Wheel of Time is a disaster. Like, and anybody,
Still enjoying it.
huh?
I'm still enjoying it.
Yeah, anybody who's read the books and is reviewing it like it's a fantastic adaptation is like, you're obviously being paid by somebody. There's 2 more episodes, and let me ask you a question, because you've never read the books, right?
Correct.
How powerful do you think magic is at this point?
Quite.
Yeah, it seems to be quite powerful, and you can pretty much just do just about anything with it, right?
It seems that way, yeah.
Yeah, because like, the girl Nynaeve, she healed everybody in the cave just with no knowledge, no previous knowledge of using magic at all. She just healed everyone immediately.
Rage
Right.
activated magic.
And then like, when Moiraine healed Matt from the dagger, she took out the black stuff out of him. Remember that? It took like, I don't know, 10 seconds or whatever. And really wasn't that big of a deal, honestly, right? Because just the magic just seems to just do whatever, right? In the books, it's extraordinary. They go into extraordinary detail of like how powerful you are or not. You are limited by your ability of like how much magic you can use. And it is like incredibly rare that you would be able to do something with magic by just sort of like willing it into existence. So like in the books, when Matt gets healed by the Aes Sedai from the dagger, the evil of that dagger, right? It takes like 12 Aes Sedai all night.
In the book to get Matt clean.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like he is effed up after it. Like he spends like 2 months recovering after he's healed, just eating food, because that's how screwed up he is. And in the show, it's just like, oh hey, oh, you've had this thing? Oh, okay. Yeah, here you go. Yeah.
Vitra, of course. That's why Sharknado was
BJ
popular.
Palmer says, did I miss the Hawkeye discussion? Last episode this season comes out in 3 hours. So I've only watched the first episode plus 20 minutes of the second episode. I haven't even gotten to finish the second episode yet. But I'm actually pleasantly surprised by the Hawkeye show so far. I don't know. Have you watched any of it yet?
I haven't seen any of it because he's one of my least favorite in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I do not like him as an actor. Well, maybe I like him as an actor, but I don't really like his persona on the Earth as like a person. Like if you go watch all of his like weird, that man takes himself way too seriously. It's fucking bizarre.
He did Hot Ones not long ago, like maybe a week or two ago, maybe 3 weeks ago.
Did he just sit there and like stare him down?
No, he was actually quite decent on there. I was surprised as well because I find him but he has the personality of cardboard as well.
It's
so
just bad. But
I expected it to be a really shitty episode of Hot Ones, but it was quite good.
But I have to say, with the Hawkeye so far, has been pretty good. Yeah, I mean, like Falcon and the Winter Soldier was just a dumpster. But so far the Hawkeye's been kind of decent. It's kind of fun. And he definitely plays like a very human representation of like a superhero. Like he's got problems, you know.
Yeah.
Like these kids are giving him grief, you know. He's got problems, you know.
Well, BJ's given it a good rap too, so I might have to have a look.
Yeah, like I said, all I've seen is like 1.5 episodes, maybe the half of the second one. But so far, I'm like, this actually is pretty good. Whoever worked on it did a good job. It's obvious right out the gate. So,
G'day, Lonnie. Yeah, well, I'll do that then. I'll watch at least the first episode, and if I still hate him, I won't go any further.
I mean, it might completely fall apart later on. I don't know, but so far, I'm like, you can tell it's pretty good.
Wait, did
Oh man, I hear the baby upstairs. I hear Olivia running around up there, and it is way past bedtime. There's no way. There's no way good
How
things
many,
are going on upstairs right now.
how many episodes are in this Hawkeye season? I thought it only started a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me see. Unless
it's only a 6-episoder or something.
Episode. Yeah, I mean maybe it's only 6, 5, 6. It says 6 episodes, so yeah, maybe it is only 6. That's not bad. I mean, you got to think like if you do a good job with 6-hour-long episodes, that's pretty good, you know.
Yeah, well, I think it'd certainly be in their best interest to, put that character's story in a slightly abridged thing instead of trying to stretch it out into 8 or 10 or 12 episodes. He's just a man who's good with a bow and arrow.
He is a superhero. I mean, he is just good with a bow and arrow. But yeah, I get what you're saying. You know, he's well. I mean, I have to say that Black Widow is almost less impressive. But
Yeah,
I mean,
I dislike her for exactly the same reasons.
yeah,
she just looks better in spandex.
But the thing is with Hawkeye, it's never so. With the Black Widow, it is determined that she is just a person and doesn't have any superhero powers. Because even in the new Black Widow, they basically confirm, yeah, she's just a person who has gone through extensive, crazy training and stuff, right? Whereas I don't know if Hawkeye is ever deemed to not have any superpowers of some kind. Because he basically seems like he can make any kind of Captain Insano trick shot, right?
Yeah.
Like with a bow and arrow. So there is like some kind of something going on there, right?
There is a certain kind of something going on.
He's got chaos going on. It's probably his children acting up. He's got to get his boys. He's got to go tell his boys to get right. I'm correct. It is. It's one of his boys with that car again. It's revving up that thing last week. It's on again. I forget what car it was, but I remember thinking, like, wow, that's kind of a crappy car. But they're into it, right? Let's see. Because of Shark Week. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Wonkru X says the Wheel of Time series has always been on my to-do list to read, but never gotten around to it. I highly recommend it. It's a great book series. You could even listen to it on audiobook. The audiobooks are actually really well done. I enjoyed the audio versions of them. It's two. It's read by two different people, so it has like a really good has good vibes. You know what I mean? Has strong good vibes.
I've never listened to an audiobook.
No, I'm always listening to audiobooks because I'm always working with my hands by myself, and I can't read a book while I do construction and stuff. You know.
I,
I might.
sorry, you go.
I was just gonna say I might go in a sec. I think Loki is home, but he's downstairs, and I would like to have a swim and stuff.
Oh, are you going for a swim?
Swim would be good.
You have a swimming pool. Oh my God. Or are
Might
you
have
just
to set
going
up
in the
mine.
ocean?
No, I'll go in the swimming pool.
Oh, you have a swimming pool?
Yeah,
Man, you
I've got
fancy
the
rich
ocean.
people.
I've got beautiful ocean, like less than 10 minutes drive from here, which is pretty good. But I'll just be going in the pool today.
Ah,
There's some lovely footage of Sarah's pool on a live stream that we did one time
mhm.
where it was the middle of winter, wasn't it? Because it was very
Mhm.
cold, and I stripped down. Was there a dare or something, or I had to do it because I got something wrong? I can't remember the actual circumstances. I think that there was a
Yeah.
reason why I had to get down to my underpants and go and jump into the pool in the middle of winter. So if you want to see me fat and mostly naked and have a good look at Sarah's pool, crikey, you probably can't because I don't remember what it was on. Was it on a Dr. Thirsty, mate?
Probably because that was when it was.
Back in those days, in the olden days of Dr.
The
Thirsty.
olden days of live streaming outside in the swimming pool.
That was when Aquamate, myself, and Thirsty Rabbit. I don't know where I got Robert from. We used to do a weekly stream and sometimes every second week.
Mm-hmm.
G'day, Lucas, edit of hello. For sub my canal, thanks for BR Burr. I dare you
Sounds
to
like a
make
bot.
that sense.
Sounds like a bot. Likely a bot.
That'd be interesting actually to Google up Dr. Thirsty, mate, and see if I actually find any results.
Oh yeah. Man, I'm starting to yawn. Starting to yawn, man. Getting up at 3:30 will do that to you.
But yeah, for those that want to, Google. I just Googled Dr. Thirsty, mate, all one word, and I got one of the streams was the first response. That'll do. So click on that, scrub through it. If you want to see naked, fat Blacky jumping into a pool in the middle of winter and having mild conniptions afterwards.
I guess we'll find out if I go look it up or not, huh?
Yeah, I'm fairly certain that the one that it gave me in my response, because the one that I got was the one with the rap battle. But I don't think I did it in that one.
It was nearby to the rap battle one, though. I think.
Yeah.
In time, yeah. Oh, maybe it was from the rap battle.
Which rap battle?
I did a rap battle with Fishy Biz Aquatics.
Oh.
It wasn't a very good rap battle. I was quite poor.
No?
I even planned. I did all this prep and wrote lines and stuff, but when it came time to do it, I was just terrible at it.
Yikes. Well, I'm not into the rap game either, so don't worry about it.
How bizarre! It is the one with the rap battle,
Oh, it has a rap battle and a swimming pool.
and a mostly naked Blacky jumping into. Oh, he wasn't actually that fat back then. Goodness, must have
Yeah,
been
no,
in
that
my
was
skinnier period.
When he was
don't get,
tip top.
Don't get flagged by YouTube for showing my own. Well, I suppose it wasn't my video. Let's find out together. Oh, I didn't click share audio as well, so you're probably not hearing anything.
He's going swimming.
See him undressing. Mary Co's wandering off. Crikey, what car is that? It's the X-Trail, is it?
probably.
Crikey,
Oh,
we had
man,
quite
you have like a proper pool out back? Wow.
Yeah.
I have a garden hose.
And it has like a waterfall that comes out of those holes on top of the cave.
Mm-hmm.
which I believe is where I'm going, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's going up to the top. He's going to jump off the top, folks. Does he make it, or does he expire? Is this the time?
I want that pool.
Do you have this?
Is that where the dead guppies are?
Do you get that audio or not?
Yeah.
I can hear it.
Did you just get the audio then? Or only?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You gotta keep talking so we can see.
No. Look at the controller, Lucky. Yep. Awesome work, Greg. Awesome work.
It's hard to watch because I know you don't die.
Turn the waterfall.
10, 18. Oh, he's not. Baby. Sorry.
Yeah. So you didn't. Yeah, you didn't die.
Oh, it's so cold.
Dude, you're gonna freeze. You're gonna freeze your twig and giggleberries off.
Is it really that cold? Or?
Yeah, it was
So
very
cold.
I mean, by my standards of temperature, it was quite cold.
Right. Probably felt
It's
tropical.
cold. When it's winter and you jump in there, it takes all your air away.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
I'm bad enough.
Yeah,
with
I'd
jumping
assume
in
it's
the
probably.
water.
I would assume the water's probably like 50-something degrees or something. So probably not that warm.
It's very cold.
Cold.
One crew, I believe we used to do it on Aquamate's channel, and because it was Dr. Black and Aquamate and Thirsty Rabbit, we called our stream Dr. Thirsty Mate.
Ah, that makes sense.
But it's Aquamate's YouTube channel. Definitely a
Well,
worthy YouTube channel to check out. He's got some good content up there, and he's a good
Yeah,
dude.
he does lots of edited content now. He doesn't do this whole live streaming, goofing off.
He also
Freezing
does.
outside. I better wear my shades.
There's a really long segue to get into. The Aquamate does premieres generally of a Wednesday evening my time, so in about an hour's time, generally Aquamate will have a premiere up.
Yeah,
So,
that's coming up.
Yeah, check that out. He does good stuff.
I
and
won't be alive
believe
for it.
Someone tickled my ears with a little rumor the other day that pardon me, after a reasonably long hiatus, that Thirsty's put some new content up too.
Oh,
That's
Bob
just
was
reminded.
saying that on Sunday that he
Was
had
Bob, was
put
it?
up.
Yeah.
Well, Bob said he'd put up a new video, and that Bob had watched it, and so he was asking some questions.
Yeah, I'd actually forgotten to go and check that out, so I might have to go and have a look at what Thirsty's been up to. But yeah, he's got a really cool fish room as well with cichlids. Most of his most of his game, or they were. I haven't spoken to the guy for a long time, so who knows what he's up to now. But yeah, by all means, go and check out Thirsty Rabbit, Tanks to You, and Aquamate. Who else is good Australians? Blake's Aquatics. Blake's good. Oh, speaking of Australian YouTube channels, apparently I'm a little bit behind the curve on this one, but I've only just recently discovered Cold Ones.
Oh yeah.
A couple of Australian dudes that do some pretty bloody funny content, and apparently they're like some of Australia's biggest YouTubers, and I'd never even heard of either of them. So yeah,
Well, you
I've
better
been
get on it.
been binging a lot of their stuff in the last week or two. Probably just the last week. Yeah, good value stuff. And of course, How To Basic is a YouTube channel that I used to love and I'd completely forgotten about.
How To Basic is hilarious.
Oh my God, I've binged so much How To Basic in the last few days.
That guy's apartment's got to be ruined.
Well, actually, there was. I think that's one of the ways how I stumbled across Cold Ones was because I was looking up How To Basic stuff, and How To Basic keeps himself anonymous.
Yeah.
And there was an interview with How To Basic on the Cold Ones show.
Yeah.
And they only ever showed him from behind, but he was still pixelated, and they modulated his voice as well. And that was a really cool interview with him. They went into a fair bit of stuff about his, he started that channel when he was still in high school.
Oh yeah.
Living with his parents, and he'd try and make his videos and stuff when his parents were out of the house because he knew he was making a mess in the house as soon as he started.
It's a pretty strong disaster.
Yes, he's still going. I think he put out a video like 2 or 3 days ago, and it's still just as wonderful and zany as ever. Oh, g'day, Cragos. How's it going, brothers? I totally dig that style, and some of the newer ones, they come across like proper cooking channel videos for the most part. There was a really good one I watched the other day, which was how to do pulled pork, and it involved 3 hours in the slow cooker. So that video was 3 hours and 6 minutes long because he actually put the camera on the tripod and watched the slow cooker for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then there was another one where it was the same sort of thing with roasting something else in the oven for an hour, and camera stayed there. But this time, instead of the 3 hour one, he sat in a chair, and you could see his feet in the reflection on the oven door, so you knew that he was sat there for the whole time of the cooking. But yeah, great sense of humour, that guy. And it was great to see after all these years that he's still throwing eggs and shit and hitting shit with a shovel. But yeah, solid gold.
Hi, pups.
Too basic. If you don't have the best bladder control, you might not be the best for watching How To Basic. Because I just laugh, piss myself laughing nonstop, and my bladder control is reasonable. Oh yeah, the old feet stuff. It's great. Yeah, the feet were always in there too, weren't they? And a fantastic video about how to revive fish. That's probably very, very valid for aquarium people. If you've got a fish that's struggling and you need to revive your fish, go and watch the How To Basic video on how to revive a fish.
Okay.
All right, guys, it's 9:30. I gotta go to bed.
Well, since we're all leaving, let's just call it quits and go, eh?
Okie dokie.
All right, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks, GRB. I seen you slinging links. You doing good stuff, mate. apologies to Craig Broderick, who's just arrived. He's only got a 5-minute dose of us. But everyone else, thanks heaps for hanging out. Don't forget Aquamate's premiere in about an hour's time. And, until next week, we'll see you when we're looking at. There they are up there. Take it easy, everyone. Bye for now.